So it's the next day, and I'm going to spend some time cleaning the intake manifold. Oh wow, what's this? Oh, that's part of the, hopefully that's part of the gasket. I'm gonna clean some of that stuff in there. I did get a gasket for the throttle body. And then once I get things basically all cleaned up. Oh, and what I bought for cleaning were these grout brushes. They're sort of, well, they're not grout brushes, but you could use a grout brush. But these are, I guess, different thicknesses or different strength of wire brushes. And then there's from a recommendation from somebody else who has done this job, you can buy this is a shotgun cleaning kit, and basically you buy it for these little nibs down there and the stick to get it all the way into the intake manifold, so you can sort of scrape out some of the stuff that has been built up over the years. I'm basically not going to show any of it just because it's going to be boring and I'm going to listen to music. Once I get it finished, I'll let you have a look and see just how much of this gunk I get out of here. It's going to be a fun couple of hours. Alright, I think I'm done. Pretty sure I'm done cleaning. Basically just cleaned the manifold off really good. I also cleaned the contact where the gasket's going to go. Pretty satisfied with how that's looking. I shot some brake cleaner down in there to try and get some of that gunk off, but you know what? Forget it. Now it's time to put the new gasket on. Here's the new gasket, and I thought for a second that I wouldn't know how to put it on, but luckily it has this hole on the one side there, so it only goes on one way. So I'm gonna put it on right now. Hopefully this is gonna solve my problem. I doubt it will, but this is something that I'm okay doing. You know, I don't mind. So next I'm just gonna go ahead and put the manifold on. And let's just go ahead and put that back on there. Ta-da! Done. Alright, well, that's it. Let's get the hard bolts on first. That would be the bottom ones. Now the bottom ones are nuts and then bolts. So I'll do the bolts first. Hey! Got one of them in. Let's see if I can cross thread them. This is unbelievable. Why can't I get... Okay, there. It's in the hole. It's in the hole! Alright, and that one is going in. Hooray for me. Okay, so here's the thing. If you don't have one of these magnetic things on a stick, get one, because that's the only way I was able to find this screw. Now my throttle cable can be attached. Ugh, it's so gross in there. My throttle cable can be attached properly with 2 screws, and I don't have to worry about a screw getting dislodged in there and destroying my motor, eating it up. Ow! There are a lot of sharp edges on everything, especially the engine side of the manifold. There are extremely sharp points that I nearly cut myself open on. Alright, so that's back in there. I'm going to put these screws, hopefully, back in place. It helps a little if you lift up on the manifold with your arm as you're trying to twist those in. A nut over here. Oh my god, no way I'm going to reach that. I've got a nut over here. Ow. I'm sure there's an easier way to do this. I don't do things the easy way, apparently. Please go on. Got it. Ha. Oh my god. There's no way. How? I can't even feel the bolt. Oh my gosh, I actually got it. Alright, so if you're following along, to get this front forward bolt or nut on the bolt, kind of have to attack it from the actual front of the motor. Now, before I tighten any of those bottom ones, I'm going to put the top ones in. Oh, how do I get that one back there? Fuck. I can put put that on there and sort of snake it through. I don't drop it. Or cross-thread it. Hope that's not cross-threaded, because then Angel would make fun of me forever. Alright, what is going on with this bolt? Ooh, that does look cross-threaded. Fuck me. I think I'm gonna go without that bolt for now and see if I can find a replacement bolt, because I don't even for 1 second like the whole idea of cross-threading a bolt into my block. The way this works is you start from the center and you make it kind of tight, and then you go out from there. Get the bottom ones, which will be fun because I don't know where they are. Just a little bit tight, good, and then this job sucks. Just gonna torque these down a little bit. Not super torqued down, just I don't know, probably really snug, and then a quarter turn after that. Alright, so I know that was super duper exciting to watch me do all those 9 bolts, 8 bolts. Sometime I'll have to find another replacement bolt, because this is just not happening. So I'm just going to start hooking back up all of the, I guess I have to put the fuel rail back in. You have to kind of remember the order that you did things so that you can do them opposite when you go back in. So yeah, fuel rail's next. Be sure you feed your wires back through and under the manifold here before you and then make sure you also attach this ground stuff back to the manifold. I bet you it would be really difficult to do that after you put the fuel rail and the fuel pressure regulator back in, so make sure that's done. Okay, fuel rail going back in. Remember, you have to, whoops, well, this goes on to the cold sensor, blah, blah, blah. I gotta figure out what that thing is called one day. I'm gonna be really careful with these injectors because I don't want to ruin them. Okay, so 14 mil bolts, spacers. Spacers go under here. Dang it, and of course, when you do that, the injectors fall out of their little holes. Get those bolts in. Bolts are in. Want to make sure that all of these will fit back onto the injectors. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is I want to put the fuel regulator on, and then I'm going to plug stuff in and just hit the fuel pump and see if I have any spray, because it doesn't make any sense to go any further than this if those injectors aren't seated properly or the fuel regulator isn't in there properly. Okay, I'll get my bolts in. You didn't see any of that. Fuck you. Sorry about that, but it's the same crap you've seen before. You've seen me struggle with the fuel pressure regulator. Okay, that fuel regulator is back on, and I'm just going to give it one little tight little squeak. I didn't like the fact that this moved. It's not supposed to move, so that means I need to tighten that rail down because I didn't do it. But you do want to put your little air thing back on the fuel regulator, back on intake manifold. Tighten that down, tighten this down. That way your fuel rail doesn't move. Thank you. Put these back where they belong. That white tape went closer to the shock tower. It's veteran level hardness difficulty. So now that that's all put back together, I am going to test the fuel to make sure that... How does that go back in? Like that. I'm going to test the fuel pump, get a good view of if anything is going to happen. So you stay there and you tell me. Alright, testing. I have to do it again because I don't think fuel got all the way up to there. Okay, one more time. Okay, checking for fuel spray anywhere. Nope, looks good. Okay. Okay, real quickly, I went out and got a gasket for this. That's just going to sit right like that. And then the throttle body's going to go back on. But before it does, I want to try and get this hose on down here. God damn it. Why is everything so hard all of a sudden? Doubt you can see what's going on. There you go. See? I knew you could do that. Gasket only goes on one way. That way. Alright, and then this go right on there. Cool. And then bolts and hose. I mean, bolts and nuts. I thought I would mention that this thing sucks. This gasket. It's too large for the groove that it sits in. So you really have to kind of force it, I guess is the good word. And hopefully get lucky that when you're sticking that back on there, it doesn't jump out of the track. So I'm going to try to do that right now. So I'm going to very carefully try and keep that in its groove. I want to stay in the groove. Get into the groove. Yeah, boy. You can prove your love to me. That's Madonna, y'all. Bet you didn't think I could sing. I can't. Sucker! Alright, so that feels about as good as oh, guess what I forgot to do? I forgot to put this bolt in first. Fuck me. What the F? What the effing F? You're gonna freaking flip. I mean, seriously, freaking flip. Check it again. Okay, drop a bolt. Perfect. Okay, fuck me gently one more time. Yeah, this gasket sucks, man. It does not want to stay in. Whatever. So my back has about had it with this job. I'm really believing with all of my heart and soul that there will be no leaks. Not even one. There's something I want to mention. I noticed on the back of the this is called a manifold. Maybe you can see that. There's a line sticking out of it. This line right here, this one. I don't know if there's a hose that's supposed to go to that or not. I don't remember taking off a hose. So, that's a mystery vacuum hose. So I guess once I start it up, I'll put my finger back there and see if that's suction. If not, I have a dummy plug that I can put on there. So this whole thing may have been completely unnecessary, because if that is the vacuum line that was sucking in the brake cleaner when I was doing that test, that would make a lot of sense. But I love doing jobs I don't have to do, especially when they're super hard. Got the vacuum lines put back on. Got this back vacuum. Well, not really. Fuck. Alright, two-hand job. Fuck me. Alright, that's back on. Vacuum line's back on. This 14 bolt put back in. The only thing I have to do now is put the throttle cable back on and put the intercooler pipe back on, and then I'm ready to start this and test it to see if it works. Alright, so everything is back together now. So I think everything is back to normal. I guess we'll start it up and see if it works. Let's try. Holy shit, that's what it was. Probably $100 worth of gaskets and stuff. I could have solved my problem with one of these. I don't know what that vacuum line is back there, but right now it's idling at almost 2,000. If I put this on, if I put that on, that's 1,200. To assume that once it warms up, it'll kick down even further. Damn it! That's what it was. It was that stupid hose that comes out of the back there, so fuck me. Found one. That's what I need. And that makes me so disappointed.
I am very disappointed!
That lesson is that sometimes the easiest solution is the right solution. And most of the time, I'm an idiot. Kind of misfiring weirdness that I was getting before. So, yeah. Oh, Cumstain, you've beaten me. And I'm gonna beat it in a minute. Alright, epilogue time. So it turned out it absolutely was the vacuum line on the back of the intake manifold. I don't know what was connected to it, if anything. I don't know if there was a stopper on it before. All I can assume is that when we blew the fuel pressure regulator and those drunk, stoned hillbillies helped us to try and put things back together, we were moving vacuum lines around. We were, in there with our hands and stuff like that, and maybe we knocked it off or whatever. The point is, this was not a wasted job. Replacing your intake manifold gasket, for me, it felt like it. I learned a lot when I was doing it. You can see my struggles when I was taking it apart and putting it back together. Now that it's all back together and everything is super clean, for whatever reason, I feel like I have more power and more torque. Maybe that's just a psychosomatic thing to try and convince myself that I didn't waste all my time doing this job, but it does feel good. So, and that's even before I go back in there with the computer and redo my AFR table and my VEs and all that good stuff. So, I am happy that I did the job, even though I could have fixed it with a 30-cent plug. But I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you maybe even learned something and are not afraid to take apart your motor, because if I'm an idiot. I mean, I am a self-admitted idiot. I watch videos just like you do, and I take a little bit from a lot of different videos that I see to make a plan as to what I'm going to do. But if you've been wrenching on your car, you know for a fact that when you get into your car, it's not always exactly like what you see on the YouTube videos. So if you did like the videos, give me a thumbs up, a like, or whatever. I don't know what the fuck that is. But if you like the series and you're new, give a subscribe. I put out videos about twice a week on average, sometimes 3 times a week. I am trying to do some different content. If you have any suggestions, like if these videos are too long, if they're too boring, if you want more in-depth how-tos, if you want to watch me screw stuff up more, you know, I can put all that stuff in there. So anyway, thanks again for watching, and I will catch you on the very next video. Bye.